Hello everybody. Some of you may know me, and a lot of you probably don't. Most of you probably clicked today to hear about the current ongoing cult being made on TikTok. But for those who know me, hi. Thank you for coming back to my channel and giving this a watch. And for those who don't, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you really enjoy it, maybe subscribe and keep updated on my content. Before we really get started here though, because there's a lot, give this video a like or a comment, or if you could do it anytime in the video because we really haven't gotten into anything, but yeah, and if you have any thoughts at any point in the video, please write them down below because I love feedback and others' commentary on just, like, the topic or anything. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. When I say the word cult, you probably think of sacrifices, pentacles, and the devil, right? Maybe a couple deer head masks or dark cloaks. Satanic stuff that also includes meaningless bloodshed and torture. But actually, the word cult has not always sparked this train of thought. The word cult comes from the Latin word cultus, which just meant care, cultivation, or to cultivate, reverence, or worship. Then, the French had the word culte, which the English borrowed, and the word cult was born. And also, sorry if I'm not pronouncing any of those right. I'm just, fuck it, we ball. Culturally, in the past, cults were not a bad thing. In ancient Greece, there were public, state-sponsored religious gatherings, ceremonies, etc. for the gods and goddesses that were widely worshipped in the cities. There would be festivals, feasts, and sacrifices, not of people, usually of animals, and if you have anything to say about that, I want you to look at every single time you've ever bought McDonald's fast food or eaten gummies or anything like that, and I want you to look at what those ingredients, what those things, those dishes, those snacks are made of. These ceremonies would be held in temples or near shrines and altars and statues in honor of said god or goddess or whatever force the people were worshipping. And of course, there were also secret societies that were specifically into finding the hidden knowledge and mysteries of the world. Those were less widespread. The ancient religions believed in secrecy and keeping things personal, unlike today, so they did not share their beliefs on social media or in public or through books and things. They kept their experiences with others in said cult or through and with their occult worship. But they were profound and promoted higher understanding for those who sought it. So, cults did not start out as crazy and dangerous. Over time, they received demonization, receiving labels like pagan from the church and satanic from Christians. However, this is funny because Orthodox religions can be cults and are technically cults, so to speak, if we refer to the original meaning of the word. To make a long story short, cults did not start out as what we've been made to think today, but over time there was a change, a shift, and that shift actually wasn't pagan or satanic and had a lot to do with the Christian and Catholic labeled churches. Before learning a bit about them, the word cult probably evoked scary satanic imagery. This is because there is still a wide hate and demonization of anything spiritual, witchy, or pagan looking, even if that's where a lot of religious traditions started. But when the word cult is mentioned, in all actuality, it is not the practices with the cult themes that need to always be thought of, because a lot of widely known cults were and are still labeled Christian or Catholic. A big contributor to the imagery surrounding cults is the satanic panic in the 1990s and purity culture, usually spread by Orthodox religions and all of that icky shit. Didn't help that Charles Manson was doing all that bullshit, and then people were really scared of satanic ritual abuse or demonic possession or worship, or, you know, something you'd see in like Hereditary or a horror movie or something. The Exorcist helped a lot too. But that's not always what a cult is or what a cult does or what it looks like, and it could still be just as dangerous if it doesn't include all of that. There were a lot of cults that were not pagan, satanic, or even labeled as cults to begin with, and these still exist today. They label themselves as sanctuaries, places of help or ease, as giving back to the community or a community for the people. They're schools, churches, and clubs. They're online, they're in reality, and other things. Originally, the People's Temple cult, ran by Jim Jones, was labeled as a Christian church. It played with some spiritual themes, but it was a Christian church. It pushed diversity and broke many social standards back in the day. It looked to unite people from different walks of life and spread the word of God through Jim Jones. And despite this, they welcomed anyone, no matter their vices, differences, or troubles. And they were aligned pretty correct political-wise. They had unique views on things that churches usually sway differently on, labeling them as progressive and powerful. This community was for the people, and the leader Jim Jones was charismatic. At least he was labeled that way. I think he's fucking creepy. He was also labeled captivating. He had something about him that entranced people, and he could get them to listen and feel good about themselves. People also found him attractive, but I think that is up for interpretation. People listened to him, and they felt good about themselves while doing it, and they did what he said. They truly believed in his words. And he knew that because the People's Temple targeted poor people, children, and minorities. Jim Jones and the disgusting people who helped him targeted people who needed help, and all they could do was hope. So, he knew they were desperate for a home, food, a purpose, anything. Anything they could get. And of course, they were so desperate and needy that they would listen to him. Because of this, the enabling and how good he was at this, he was able to later grow his cult, sway them into moving twice, got on drugs, used consistent violent abuse tactics, psychological mind games and abuse, and horrifying amounts of force to transport over 900 people to Guyana, which is now labeled Jonestown, Guyana, due to this tragedy, and he killed them all through mass suicide.
In 1978, nearly 1,000 people were killed on the orders of a narcissistic cult leader.
Some were forced to do it, others did it willingly. Think about really think about the mindset you have to be to willingly kill yourself or allow someone you love to be willingly killed. Most of the people who partook in this were forced, and many were children. There have been multiple cults like this, including Heaven's Gate, Love Has Won, The Family International, and many more. But these cults did not advertise themselves as bad, violent things. No, they were churches and communities and clubs and many other things that were easy for people to gain access to, and it was easy to target innocent people who were very, very, very easy to victimize. Then once they got in, it was hard to get out. But that's what makes cults so dangerous. They're surprisingly easy to create, and they're not exactly easy to worm out of. If you said the phrase, "Children of the Waning Star," to me at least 6 days ago, I'd have no fucking clue what you were talking about. But recently, I started to see these symbols in people's names on TikTok, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I remember back in 2020, people were putting their emojis, or like putting emojis in their name and stuff to correspond with the Blue Whale Challenge and being a pro shipper or like fandom spaces and stuff. So naturally, I looked up what this symbol was for that I kept seeing, and I stumbled upon all these videos about Children of the Waning Star.
The good news is there's no more plague! Huzzah! The bad news is there's no more London.
Apparently, it was a self-labeled cult by some girl named Gigi Jarvis / @NotGigiJarvis on TikTok, and I thought that this was just some stupid random trend bullshit, so I looked further into it and I found out more. So, Gigi Jarvis has been trying to create a cult on TikTok unprompted for no reason other than just to create one. She was not posting videos like this prior to the date July 11th, 2025. She made it because it'll be so silly. And I quote, that is what she said. She then had TikToks labeled by days, so like day 1, day 2, etc. of starting the cult. And on day 1, she recruited people. On day 2, she created a monthly holiday for the cult. And her days get kind of screwy, so sorry if you can't keep up. She labeled these really shitty, but, yeah. And in these videos, she uses a lot of, like, cult-like halo effect, isolation for validation, ways of phrase and speech. She'll say things like, "We have a popular cult member request, and I want to make it law." but also says cringy shit like, "Hi, cult leader here." Again, cults don't usually refer to themselves as a cult, and that's the part where it's like, okay, you're trying too hard, but it was surprising to see how fast people were already contributing to this with no questions asked. She then took a break, and then she made a video about why she's the perfect leader, which just seemed like jokes or play, and people were joking and playing back in the comments. On day 2, which should actually be day 3, she had the cult choose their symbol, aka the symbol I kept seeing that inspired me to make this video.
Congratulations, we have officially selected the symbols for our cult. We are doing the fingerprint and then the star, like above. Honorable mention to cult member One Silly Billy because they have the most likes on their comment, but I couldn't video stitch it. Also, by doing the fingerprint and the star, hopefully if it comes up as a square for the non-Apple users, you could still tell who's who because of the star next to it. So congratulations, once you fall asleep, I'm going to sneak into your home and carve it into your skin. But in the meantime, feel free to put it in your bio or other places.
And like, I saw this symbol everywhere. It was on posts, it was in people's names, it was on papers in posts. And then I saw like a really big controversy around this symbol. The cult creator, Gigi Jarvis, told the audience to not think of this symbol as an emoji or like emoji texting, but to think of it as, and I quote, her literally coming to you and branding it onto your skin.
It is now time to choose our cult symbol. This is how we know who is in the inn. Don't think of the emoji as a texting thing, think of it as me literally coming to you and branding it onto your skin.
What the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, what? Then she tells people in her so-called cult to be creative with the symbols they pick and says whoever gets the most likes will be picked. Blah, blah, blah. Just more Halo effect praise, reward / prize, most likely and possibly manipulative language. So basically after the symbols, which were the fingerprint and the star emoji things, after those were picked, things went extremely downhill as the cult had grown and it was starting to get a little weird, if it wasn't already, because I think wanting to make a cult just unprompted randomly, I think that's pretty weird already. So, the creator at this point was already doing the bit, and so was her audience. Like, they were really getting into it. Many people put these symbols in their name, and then they took it a step further and made Bible verse copy and paste, replacing certain portions with the words Gigi Jarvis and her symbols. Ew. That's fucking gross. Mocking the Bible is not cool whether you agree with the Bible or not. It is strange. That is a book that is sacred to many people. If you do not care about it or respect it, that is perfectly fine and that is okay. But, don't mock the Bible, maybe. Thanks.
Let go of me. Damn it, bitch, I said let go.
On another video, she labels as day 3, but at this point, it's obvious her labeling fucking sucks. The cult picked the cult name, and thus the Child of the Waning Star was born. Or Children of the Waning Star, whatever the hell that shit's called, I don't. Now, by this point, her audience is split in half. Some people see how weird and bad this is, and others are a part of Children of the Waning Star. And on this day, Gigi also says she wants to create a Reddit or wiki page for the cult lore. This shit is really cringe. This reminds me of like the Subway Surfer trend and like the brain rot and like the Foreigner trend. Do y'all remember the Foreigner trend? But like, we're gonna look back at this and be like, what the actual fuck duck shit were we smoking back in 2025 July? Anyway, on day 4, it was disclosed that they will individually call themselves Star Prince in the cult, and then Gigi and the audience, which at this point were more concerned people than so-called Star Prince, are supposed to, or at least they were tasked with making an entity on day 5. And at this point, people are hating on this cringy shit, as they should, because cults, in the way we've come to know them, are serious. They're not fun little internet things where you brand yourself digitally. They cause trauma, trafficking, abuse in all forms, psychosis, various mental health episodes, and even death. And this is mocking ancient religions predating to Orthodox religion and practice entirely, and they give them a bad rap. Gigi Jarvis at this point has labeled these TikTok videos as meetings, so the days are now meetings. And in the next meeting, the Star Prince would name the entity that they were praying to, because now they have an entity that they are choosing, I guess, and how to give it offerings. Once again, it's giving hereditary. But as of now, that is all for the Children of the Waning Star, so far at least. At least from Gigi Jarvis, because she posted that meeting a day ago. But her group has apparently been up to some other stuff. Hi, update editing Dono here. Before I show you that other stuff, she has made other parts. It is July 17th. And she has made other parts. I might need to make a part 2 to this. If anyone wants to see that, let me know. But yeah, sorry for my loud ratchet fan.
Don't you want to become a cult leader? Since the death of God, there's been a vacancy open. You can fill that void. Here's how.
Apparently, the Star Prince, or the Children of the Waning Star, have now sacrificed a dog to the entity. They've also begun offering blood sacrifices, carving the symbol into their skin, getting it tattooed. In addition to this, Gigi Jarvis also put cult leader on a job application, and others have begun doing zoophilia, setting up crystals, animal skulls, symbols, and sacrificing their pets? Now, I'm not sure if all of this is true, because we know how people like to lie, but, I'm sure all of this is now really showing people that it isn't a good idea to start a cult! Cults are not a good thing! It's not some silly little joke. This shit has killed people, and it has caused major harm, because people are fucking crazy and they take it way too far. Stuff like this is weird. Now, in live time, we're seeing people regret changing their username and putting those dumb symbols in it because they realize joining a cult is not a fun little cutesy joke. You should have known and gave a fuck about that before people started cutting themselves and sacrificing pets. Hello? I think the fact that people are this bored is definitely a recession indicator, and hell, it's a human intelligence decreasing indicator. Employment is calling, and boredom is a dangerous thing for some people. Some minds really just can't be left alone. They can't be bored. Oh my god, and many people will not be able to be hired due to their digital footprint coming off of this. I think it's obvious cults aren't funny. They're not something small or silly or something that should be strived for or normalized. Cults have murdered innocent people, children, promoted sexual abuse, mental abuse, suicide, self-harm, and countless other horrors. They've encouraged drug use and sacrifice with an ignorant lens on it, attempting to do what the ancient people did and other cultures do and bastardizing it. They lure desperate, innocent people and prey on those with any kind of religious paranoia or psychosis. It's weird and strange to promote manipulation, brainwashing, abuse, and other odd shit just for TikTok clout! Get a job! Get a job! Then Gigi Jarvis started getting hate, and instead of telling the members to stop, or that it's simply gone too far and that she's sorry, she labeled it and said now they're just a community.
Hey guys, so we're not going to use the word cult anymore to describe us. Which honestly makes sense, because we're just a community that uses dark aesthetics. No one is actually doing rituals or sacrificing an animal, I hope.
That's not any better, what? Plus, if we go back to the original things I was saying earlier, being labeled as a community is the label that starts most cults. So what is that helping? What does that do? Bottom line, this shit is weird. Gigi Jarvis is weird. Anyone involved in Children of the Waning Star is weird. You should never glorify and romanticize cults because they're simply not funny. They're a horrific experience, and if you've not been in one, you are very lucky. And doing self-harm, sacrificing dead animals, and mocking pagan rituals and other religions is not okay. It's strange and should have never ever taken place. Now, if you indulged in this cult over the past few days, I want you to, drumroll please, A, go outside. B, take a break from social media. C, read a book. Books are good. Books are fun. D, go outside, touch some grass. That's what you need to do outside. E, do something meaningful with your life because you're obviously looking for it and you're not finding it. And F, I think we're on, get a job. Get a job. Thank you. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I tried to add in the right amount of funny but also seriousness because this is a serious topic. Oh, and then I tried to make it educational because people are very ignorant when it comes to cults, and as somebody who has a pagan background in religion myself, I thought it would be dumb to not educate, but I also didn't want this to be really, really boring and then have y'all, like, fucking yawning. And then I tried to make it, like, as short as possible while I could also include everything. So far, as I'm editing right now, it says it's 21 minutes. I'm gonna try to cut that down, but, I like this video format, so I think I'm gonna be posting more videos like this before the summer ends. I'm really trying to post more on YouTube. I need to get back into it because I really like it, and my goal, like, at the beginning of the summer, I set a simple, measly goal of 5 uploads before I go back to school. I think I could do that, but, like, I don't know, motivation kicks my ass, and then I disappear for, like, 7 months. Yeah. Wish I had the same motivation as Children of the fucking Waning star. Then maybe I could actually be doing something. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button because it helps a brother out. And if you like my channel, maybe subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss out. Oh, comment your thoughts too. I love comments. And then if you didn't like it, I don't know, like fucking explode or something. But yeah, I had fun filming this, and I figured I should jump on this before more people do. And I also, cults are a hyperfixation topic of mine. They've been since I was a little kid. I'm very passionate about, like, cults and, like, how people have been treated in them, what they're about, how they form, like, all those kinds of things. But not because I wanted to start one, because I'm not a freak, unlike Gigi Jarvis. Anyway, comment your thoughts. See you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. And remember, do not be a cringy weirdo and start a wannabe TikTok cult. Okay, bye. Stay safe.